Yeah, it'd probably be when I broke my leg in 20, I think it was 2015 or 16. It was in the World Club Challenge against Brisbane. Yeah, and I was out for over a year, 14 months. I was out. I came back for the Good Friday game against St Helens the following year. Just how long that was, really. You know, the sort of the rehab, coming back, getting the quite a couple of metal plates in my leg. I was hoping to be coming back a lot sooner than 14 months, sort of the highs and lows of injury. And, initially spoke to Brooksy, the Dr. Chris Brooks. He said, you're lucky that you're going to be able to play again. And then just after, I can't remember exactly, but 8, 9, 10 months, tried to run, getting a lot of pain. Then I got the plates out of my leg. Started to feel a little bit better, and then come back for that game. And then it wasn't just the injury; it was sort of what it did to me after. Like when I came back, my performances weren't as good as they were before that. And it was sort of that question mark in my head. Have I still got what I had before? Is this going to be like my level of playing now? Am I going to have to sort of accept that I'm not the player that I used to be? Yeah, and then off the back of that, I signed for Wigan. There was a lot of for Catalan. There was a lot of moving parts in between that. What happened, but I reckon that them couple of years were probably the most difficult in my career.
Do you often look back at that period of time now and try and examine, one, how you dealt with it? And I think you dealt with it breaking a leg in quite a huge game in the World Club Challenge, going through all that rehab, and then coming back to probably one of the fierce derbies in Rugby League against St Helens. That's no, small feat to come back into such a contested game. What was it mentally like? And do you feel like you've learned through that process? What support did you have mentally as well as the rehab side in that journey?
Yeah, what will it be? It's been nearly 10 years ago now. So the mental side and the support around that wasn't as, where it is today. There's a lot more awareness around that. I'm not bagging Wigan at all. They put everything in place for me and tried to help me as much as I could, but I sort of took myself away from that, and I had issues off the field around that time when I was sort of getting frustrated. So yeah, it was more difficult mentally, because physically it was just waiting and waiting for it to heal and feel better. And then it's them setbacks that when you think you can run and you can't, or you are, but it's hurting you. You sort of try and hide it, and yeah, it's quite difficult.
Do you feel that that's helped you prepared through other setbacks that you've had along the journey now? Did that period of time through that big setback help you mentally overcome the other setbacks that you faced along your journey?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. If I had an injury that was 6 to 8 weeks, it felt like nothing. Once you've been injured for 14 months, everything seems a lot easier. If you had a big injury like that, it's easier for you to accept certain injuries that aren't as long, and you sort of can get your head around it.
No, listen, mate, I appreciate your honesty and and the vulnerability through that time. I think it's often that us fans don't often understand or appreciate what players go through just to get onto the playing surface to entertain week in, week out. We know that there's training, but actually going through the physical and mental toil that you've got to go through to be match fit often can be challenging, because you are a human being and you have your own life going on off the field. So I do appreciate you sharing that.